Hey everybody, we are live. We are back for the She-Hulk watch party and after show. You can watch us. You're watching us here on YouTube or Amazon Fire TV, either one, wherever you're joining us. Welcome. This is a discussion show. We're going to be talking about different topics until we reach up to the She-Hulk show, which usually launches at 11:50. Just to give you a little update on how everything works here today. But before we do that, let's introduce the guest. I'm Mike Sandoval, and right here to my right,
once again, it is me, the J to the E to the double F ray. You can all relax. You can all breathe easy now because Jeffrey Harris is here for the MUSE TV watch party, and not a moment too soon.
Exactly. So, a lot of things are happening this week.
Yeah.
As
Aquaman and Shazam just got delayed.
Yes.
What the hell?
And I think even though this is the She-Hulk watch party, this is the beautiful thing. We can discuss whatever we want. And this is what's a big story today. I can't believe they friggin' pushed Shazam back after Comic-Con. And all the presentation and everything saying that it's
and CinemaCon. And that was to like their exhibition partners.
Which makes me think that they're really reorganizing. And
did you see what Boris Kitt said?
Nuh-uh.
Boris Kitt, who writes for the Hollywood Reporter. Let's see. I just want to read off exactly what he said. But he said that Warner Brothers is sort of like short on cash right now, and they don't really even have money to pay for theatrical releases.
That is crazy.
Here's what he said. Earlier today, the moves underscore what a financial mess Warner Brothers Discovery is, as the studio has only enough cash to release 2 movies from now to the end of this year. Don't Worry, Darling and Black Adam. Shazam was supposed to come out in December. So Shazam is moving from December 2022 to March 17th, 2023. Aquaman 2 is now moving from March 2023 to December 25th, 2023. Yeah. Is that possible? How can Warner Brothers Discovery just run out of money like that?
I really don't know. I can't pick a pinpoint on it. It's like they had enough money to buy the company or to take over into the company.
I mean, how can you not know you're gonna like run out of money or like what, or you're not gonna have enough money? Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, and they just signed Matt Reeves to a long-term deal, so it's like it makes no sense to me. It really does not make sense to me.
Does anyone own Warner Discovery now, or are they just their own entity?
They're their own entity.
Okay.
AT&T, I think, has, I don't know how that whole thing worked. If AT&T is still involved but silent.
Because AT&T bought Warner Brothers. So why did AT&T buy Warner Brothers just to sell them?
To make quick money and to get into the media game. They want to compete with
but didn't they already bought DirecTV, right?
Yeah, they had bought DirecTV. They had, but also too, when you bought Warner Brothers, you got what is it, Time Warner Cable.
Do they have no stake in Warner Brothers at this point?
I don't know what it is. I know it's a small percentage, but not like controlling stake.
Like, there's no way AT&T could have run out of money.
Yeah, because when
I'm just confused.
When the sale was made, if you had AT&T stock, you got stock into Warner Brothers Discovery as a stockholder. So I don't know what the percentages of ownership. I don't think they have control. I think Discovery, whoever's the head, whoever owns that part, Warner Brothers Discovery, is controlling everything.
I just don't know how you could be running a big company like this. You're running this big media entity. You buy a major movie studio and and you don't know that you're going to run out of money for releasing major tentpole films at some point.
Yeah,
It
makes no sense.
doesn't make sense to me.
And here's the thing: they have a bunch of different divisions in Warner Brothers.
And this goes beyond all the stock losses and all the money they've lost.
And they've lost a lot of money. I think the shares were at $12 at one point today.
Maybe now's the time to buy if you're an investor.
Well, to be honest, I would buy right now. I would buy right if you have. It went up, it gained back. It went as low as $12.81.
Okay.
Now it's at $13.54.
Okay, here's my question though. If you can't pay to release these major tentpoles, how do you even pay to make them? Or I mean, I know they probably get them financed, or they get like hedge funds, or however they cook the books to make these movies. But how can you even afford to like pay the big stars and the big talent to work on these films?
That's the thing. I think they allocated funds to each and every sector of the company, but what they could normally do is pull funds from another sector and put it into film distribution. But I don't think they really have a plan, to be honest, yet. I think they're still trying to figure out how they're going to run this company to make it successful, because under AT&T they weren't doing that well.
Here's my next question. Is HBO Max even here a year from now?
Yeah, well, supposedly they're going to change the name. They're going to change and put HBO Max and Discovery under one roof.
HBO Max is probably the least popular streaming service right now with some of the recent moves. And this goes beyond delaying Aquaman and Shazam.
Yeah. What gets me is the fact that besides the DC superhero stuff, I mean, what about all their other films? What about all their other films that they have slated to come out?
Apparently Evil Dead Rise has been slated to come out this year, so they're releasing a new Evil Dead movie, whatever this movie is. Let's see, and a House Party remake.
Yeah,
that's coming out next year. Evil Dead Rise is coming out next year. House Party is coming out next year. So they've got horror movies coming out, and they've got a House Party remake, The Nun 2. Salem's Lot was moved to April 21st, from April 21st, 2023 to an undetermined date. And that's a Stephen King adaptation, right?
Yeah.
So strange. I don't know what to make of what's going on over there right now. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if I was like,
I remember Salem's Lot, we saw some footage.
Oh yeah, at CinemaCon, like they did the big show for all these films, and they're not even coming out when they're supposed to be coming out.
What's funny is that they had all the bells and whistles, and remember I told you it looks like there's issues with Warner Brothers, and they haven't got their, like, they're really having trouble with the transition. It showed at the presentation.
I had misgivings about the AT&T acquisition from the beginning, and it just seems like it's one disaster after another with Discovery.
Yeah, I think once they get everything settled, and I think it's going to be about 2 to 3 years. You're going to see everything okay, and you're going to see money come back into stocks are going to rise. That's why if you have $20, put $20 right now, leave it, because you're going to make some money off of that $20.
All right. So Boris Kitt also reported they have no money and no clues, says one exasperated producer. So an anonymous producer says Warner Brothers Discovery has no money and no clues. Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the truth?
I don't think so. I think
you're defending Warner Brothers Discovery right now. Why?
Because I own stock in Warner Brothers Discovery.
So shouldn't you be angry at them right now they're playing with your money, man?
I'm not angry with the fact of them. I am a little angry with the moves, but I also understand that. I understand the December move. I understand that one. because something tells me Avatar is going to be a really big hit. Because Disney's putting everything out there, re-releasing the original to get everybody familiar with what's coming, and I think that's not a bad idea.
But they're not even taking Batman Caped Crusader, which apparently is still in production.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that show was supposed to premiere on HBO Max. So the Batman animated show with J.J. Abrams and Bruce Timm they're making for HBO Max is now not even going to HBO Max. So like, what is even the point of HBO Max's existence? Like, you made this streaming service to be this destination for all your properties, and now you're killing the streaming service.
Yeah.
I feel like you should be upset. They're messing with your money, man. They're shorting out your stocks with all these bad decisions.
I'm not upset yet.
Okay.
I'm giving it a little bit of time.
Okay.
See how it plays out.
All right. All right. Let it play out.
Yeah. I want to see
how you're like the guys watching AEW Dynamite tonight, watching what happens with Punk versus Moxley. Let it play out, they say. Let it play out.
And that's another thing too. That really, and I think we should bring it up because we both talked to CM Punk.
Right.
He looked hurt when we talked to him. He looked like he was recovering.
And that was in late July. That was less than a month ago. Yeah. Literally less than a month ago when we saw him.
Yeah. And he
was wearing a medical boot.
He had a medical boot, and on his other shoe, he had a pad underneath his shoe.
He looked to be in a lot of pain. He said, like, this... So, I want to say, this was on the Saturday of Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. Punk said to me, I was talking to him about his injury. He said to me, my foot feels like garbage. Yeah. Those were his words.
He told me,
is he gaslighting us with this foot injury, or is he just not even healed yet?
I don't think he's healed yet. He told me when I interviewed him that they're giving him as much time as he wants to recover.
So my feeling is what happened tonight was just an overhyped, messy way of, okay, Punk is not going to be ready for a while. He's still hurting. Mm-hmm. But we could get him in the ring tonight to just take a few bumps and have him lose to Moxley. Yeah. Moxley wins, and Moxley's the full champion. Mm-hmm. So we solve this whole interim title nonsense, because look, this isn't UFC. No one gives I'm trying not to curse. No one gives a flying frel. No one gives a flying falutin thing about interim titles. No one cares about interim titles.
Yeah.
And I want to think AEW got wise to that, even though they're doing it again with Thunder Rosa, with that, which is a whole other topic. So they're like, we can't have Moxley. We need to have Moxley as the unified champion. We're making him the unified champion now. That's why I think they did all that.
Yeah.
But they did that, and now we don't have a title match for All Out, if they're even going to have one. And I don't know what they're doing. But the Defenders, what do they say? Just like you said now with Warner Brothers, let it play out.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to do.
You want to know what let it play out sounds like, Mike? It sounds like a recipe for disaster. It sounds like a half-hearted defense before disaster strikes. That's what let it play out sounds like.
It's like with Warner Brothers. There has to be a lot of broken windows before you could build a house back up again.
Okay.
So I want to see what happens, but with Disney, they're doing great.
Well,
with D23 coming up in 2 weeks.
I wonder, is the streaming bubble like breaking? Like, did the industry overbet on streaming?
I don't think so. I think it works for certain things and not others.
Like, I wonder if like, look at NBC Universal. They're losing billions of dollars on Peacock.
Oh yeah, but their strategy is terrible. I mean, most of the people. I want to know, whoever's watching the show right now, do you have Peacock, and what made you buy Peacock?
Netflix is losing billions.
Mm-hmm. Netflix is a different story. It's their corporate structure because
But
they have nothing else
but,
other than Netflix,
but
the streaming.
I want. But is there a limit to your subscriber base? Is there a limit to the content you can carry? And does it just stop becoming profitable after a while?
With Netflix's problem, I think they need to reorganize their platform because it gets a little too much. When you go through Netflix, it's a lot right now because they have a lot of content on their platform.
I don't know. I don't think there's enough good content on
Yeah,
there.
and that's it too. It's not enough good content. Yeah, I got Peacock because my friend from college is on one of the shows. See,
I mean, I'm a WWE fan and I don't even want Peacock because
that's the only reason
the app is terrible. It's not user friendly and it's not if you're a wrestling fan, it's not set up in a way that works, that's usable.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I buy Peacock was because of WWE. That's it.
But I'm not. I got to be honest. I'm not sold on this on like does streaming work? Is streaming the way to go? Because it looks like companies are losing money on their streaming services, and now Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't. Now it looks like they want nothing to do with HBO Max, and they're pulling shows left and right. And now they're trying. Okay, we're not going to put these shows on HBO Max. We're going to license them out elsewhere. Well, I mean, like, who are you going to license them to? Are you going to license them to Netflix? Are you going to license them to Disney Plus? What is going on here?
Yeah, and that's the thing that I don't know what they're going to do with HBO Max and how they're going to. I like it personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't get to see my HBO shows like when they first air.
Mm-hmm.
I get to see them afterwards. I will be pissed off if they cancel Titans because I like Titans and I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. And Harley Quinn is really good. I like watching that. But
okay.
And also the classic movies. I like going back and seeing, so have the ability to watch all those classic movies. And the interface is good. Problem, the interface is terrible.
It is terrible.
Universal doesn't use how Disney 45 days will release their newer films around there, right?
Yeah.
So with Thor: Love and Thunder coming out on September 8th on Disney Day for Disney Plus Day.
That's more than 45 days.
Yeah, because it made money, but also too, it's still coming out.
Right.
And,
it made 5 million.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
6-week windows make no sense at this point.
Yeah. So that's the thing with Peacock, Universal. Jurassic World isn't going to Peacock right away. They released the DVD copies and the Blu-ray copies before it goes on to Peacock. Whenever it goes on to Peacock,
but they're releasing Halloween Kills day and date.
Yeah, which it's probably gonna be bad. I hate to say it, but I feel like it's going to be
well. The last one they did day and date, and it did make a lot of money opening weekend.
I also nominated it Best Comedy of the Year. But
all right.
Let me get to Sladro. I only use HBO Max for the animated DC movies and MonsterVerse movies.
Yeah, but they're removing those. And then the MonsterVerse series isn't that one going to Apple Plus?
Well, they have supposedly they have a series, and right now supposedly Disney's working on making a Kong.
Yeah, but I don't think that one's MonsterVerse.
No,
the one that Disney's made. I think it's just King Kong.
Yeah, and it's based on the books or something like that.
Okay.
So that license is different.
Okay, so let's look at She-Hulk right now. So we're getting episode 2 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was the premiere. So far the show is 87% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's doing well so far. Any thoughts on that?
All the shills are loving it, of course. No, just kidding.
Oh, man.
I think it's a good. You know what? I think it's.
Don't get us in trouble, Mike. Come on.
Hey, I'm not a Rotten Tomatoes critic, and I don't really care.
Mike.
But
Are you trying to tell me something here?
well, let's just put it this way: it's owned by a corporation, so.
Are you trying to tell me something
Oh no,
about me?
no, I'm not trying to tell you something about you at all.
Why?
This has nothing to do with you. This
I
is my
mean, I have not reviewed She-Hulk yet on Rotten Tomatoes, but I am a Tomato Meter approved critic, just so everyone knows.
Yeah.
And
And
just so everyone knows, Mike's views are his own, and I do not endorse or necessarily share them.
But
Thank you.
make the point. But I like the show.
Gladly make that point. Yes.
Yeah, I like the show so far, and I'm curious to see what everybody thinks after episode 1. Because
well, it seems largely positive so far. I mean, it's hard to go by Twitter because like Twitter is just so much insanity, but it seems to generally be positive, and I think last week's episode was the best episode. Now, full disclosure, I've also seen the episode that debuts tonight. I think you have as well, right, Mike?
I have seen it.
Okay, so we've both seen tonight's episode. I think tonight's episode is not as good as the premiere. I think it's more of an average, like, plot getting settled episode, but I think it's an okay episode. To me, this is not quite where the quality takes a dive, and I think it does happen in the later in the first 4. But I think this is more of a plot development episode without giving anything away. And you'll once you watch the episode tonight, I think you'll get a better understanding of what I'm saying there. But do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think it's fair, and I'm curious to see what everybody who's watching is going to be saying about it. I'm really curious because I want to know what other people think. Because
what I mainly think, I think they did. I don't want to say they lucked out, but I think they did nail it with Tatiana Maslany's casting. I think she's perfect.
Yeah, she's good.
Or if not perfect, I think she's like incredible in this role. I think they found the right casting choice for Jennifer She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I think the CG is a mixed bag. I think
that's what I was going to say.
I think everyone's overreacting about the CG. I mean, I agree. It's not perfect. It's not it's not as good as Smart Hulk. Yeah.
Should we talk about the later episodes? Because there's some scenes where I'm just like, really? They fixed some that were in the trailer. I can honestly say there's some scenes that they showed that were wonky in the trailer that they fixed, and they fixed on the show.
I think the problem is what's going on with the visual effects artists, and there's clearly not good conditions they're working under, and it just seems like they're not listening to their effects artists and doing it the best way possible to get the best results.
That's why if you're looking to start a company right now is a good time to start a visual effects company because you'd be able to do some stuff that you may not have believed.
It's just that if you're it sounds like if you work for a visual effects studio and you agree to do a Marvel project, it just sounds like there's a lot of crunch time and it's just not great working conditions or circumstances, and they're all the artists are publicly speaking out about that. So I think it's something they need to review and hopefully fix. And and here's my thought process. I don't mind waiting a little longer if it's better for everyone in the long run, and that means like the crew, the effects artists, and everything. And I think, look, the results for She-Hulk have been a mixed bag, and I don't think that's unfair.
Yeah, and my thing is, if you're looking to start a video effects company and learn and you know how to do this,
start
a company right now. I think it's a good time to really think about.
Do you have a sponsor here we're trying to?
Well, no, but I went to a high school where actually they teach you a lot of this stuff, and if you're looking for freaking kids to do visual effects and train them and get them ready and prepare them so that once they get out of college, you hire them, take a look at Don Bosco Technical Institute. Just saying.
Okay, so that's what you were getting at.
Because Walt Disney Imagineering used to hire students from the school, get them as it's like an internship program where they'd have them work for 4 years and then they pay for their college.
But here's my thing about She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the visual effects are bad, but on the other side of that, not all of them are great.
Mm-hmm.
They have not quite found. I don't think they've just found that happy, sweet spot for the She-Hulk visuals. And I think it's probably easier to do Banner because he usually has that short, close cropped hair, and no matter what it is, I guess that longer flowing hair, is just harder to animate because her hair looks very cartoony, and something looks off about it. And it looks a little too wavy. It looks a little too quick, and I think that's part of what's taking people out of the experience.
Yep. Slater, what did you think about everything so far on the show, and especially with the CGI? I'm curious to hear a little bit more, a recap.
I forget what Slater was saying last week. I feel like Marvin was just nonstop.
Oh, Marvin was just going after you. He was having a field.
I don't know if we're gonna see Marvin tonight, but.
I don't know. But.
All right, so I guess we have time now. So what is the house cleaning? What is the process of the watch party?
So
tell them the rules.
Here we go. So what we do here on the MUSE TV watch party and after show is that we will put everything. We'll turn off the video, turn off the sound due to copyright reasons. We'll enjoy the show together, which will probably be, I think this episode was like 30 minutes, if I remember correctly, or maybe a little bit longer than 30 minutes. After the show is over, we'll come back. We'll go live again, back on this live stream. It'll be continuing live. So if you see a blank screen, stay tuned, keep it on. We'll be returning after the show, and we'll discuss episode 2 of She-Hulk. That's pretty much how the watch parties go here on MUSE TV. And I just got a comment from Celedro. The CGI ain't that bad, but it's not perfect either.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so other news announcements. Curb Your Enthusiasm is getting a 12th season from HBO, returning after a 6-year hiatus. House of the Dragon. Have you watched House of the Dragon yet?
No, I have not.
Almost had 10 million viewers for its debut episode. Big viewers for House of the Dragon premiere. Batman 2, the Hollywood Reporter says Mattson Tomlin and Matt Reeves will be writing the script together. They co-wrote the first film. Okay, so any thoughts on the Batman team coming back for the sequel, to write the sequel?
Not shocked after they signed him to a big deal, overall deal at Warner Brothers.
Do they have? Can they even afford Matt Reeves at this point?
They signed him for a reason, so I think they have money.
Are those contracts worth the paper they're printed on, though?
Oh yeah, something tells me that they're being very frugal right now.
Okay,
that's what I'm thinking. They're being very frugal until they get. Because the one thing, like their other movie divisions seem to do okay. I think they're really focusing on getting DC on track. Because DC
but they're delaying everything and then they're cutting stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then The Flash is being, supposedly, from what I've read on different news outlets, that The Flash has got high test ratings.
Well, I have no doubt The Flash will get released.
Yeah.
Because they spent too much money on it. They spent so much money, they got to do something with it.
And I think they got to start recouping money because they haven't released that many films, Warner Brothers has, this year.
But if you believe Boris Kitt, they barely have any money to release films now. All they can do is release Black Adam and a couple others, apparently.
I think they're being strategic on their releases to make sure they see some money come back, and then
all right. So, what do you think? Jon Moxley is now the unified champion. What do you think of that, of AEW?
Not shocked. I mean, they got to give it to somebody. Something tells me Punk is a lot more hurt than what he's talking about.
Do you think? What do you think about all this stuff about Hangman Page, backstage problems with Punk being disliked, the fallout of Colt Cabana? Like people, like everyone in the locker room apparently loves Colt Cabana, and everyone resenting Punk because of his, past issues with Colt Cabana, and now everyone hates Punk apparently. Any truth to that?
I wouldn't be surprised if there is, but I don't know, like, what in the hell's going on right now.
You talk to these guys, right?
Yeah, I talked to them.
Okay.
I've talked to whoever we talked to at AEW. That's about
Who
it.
interviewed Jericho? Why don't you call up Jericho and ask him what's going on?
I actually have his manager too. So
yeah,
I have his phone number. So maybe
you should call. You should call him and ask Jericho what is going on here. Did Punk isolate himself in the locker room?
The one thing I am hearing though is that a lot of people are very happy that Triple H is in charge of WWE.
Yeah, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist or a Hercule Poirot to figure that out, Mike.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but there's like,
yeah, you think?
I was talking to.
That's like saying Kevin Feige is going to make a bunch of X-Men movies and movies and TV shows about mutants and X-Men and X-Men spinoffs. Like,
oh, but what the word around, like, former guys who took contracts somewhere else because they got released.
Yeah,
a lot of them do want to come back under Triple H.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted to work for Vince. Vince was ruining their careers.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were living it up in NXT. Like, they literally chased off Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and probably many others because of Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Look what they did to Keith. Look what they did to Keith Lee on the main roster. They named him Bearcat and made him growl like a cat.
Yeah.
Like, come on here.
Yeah,
like they literally made him. They literally made Keith Lee do that.
Yeah.
It, like, these guys in NXT were having such a good time, and then they go to the main roster and they're treated like garbage. And then the whole reason they're treated like garbage, first Vince McMahon, and then John Laurinaitis, who the stories are out there. I'm not going to get into all the stories, but the stories are out there. Because
this is not about.
They're gone. They're gone. They're out of there. They are out of there. They're out of the picture, Mike.
Yep.
So, and everyone in NXT loves Triple H. Mm-hmm. Like, Triple H made it a great place for them to work. And this includes, like, longtime indie veterans. They love Triple H.
Yeah.
Like, Johnny Gargano is back on the main roster. He got chased away. You think Johnny Gargano wanted to work for Vince McMahon? No way.
He would have been buried.
And now Vince is gone, and Johnny Gargano's back. That's not a coincidence, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky is in here. Vicky Janger. How are you, Shutia? What is that? Do you know?
I am looking at the Urban Dictionary. A person born from the necessary.
What is that, Vicky? I don't know what that is.
It's a dumb idiot or asshole.
Is this guy trolling us?
I don't know.
That seems kind of rude, Vicky.
So I don't know.
Unless you mean that in an endearing way.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But continue on.
What? Vicky, try to keep it clean in here.
That's the one thing I have to every so often look at the Urban Dictionary, because I'm getting to that age. I don't know what the hip things that the kids are saying nowadays.
Cross had the goofy suspenders and helmet during his first run on the main roster.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and now they fired him. They fired him and his wife, and now they're back.
Yep.
Everyone Vince is fired. Everyone who Vince fired, who wasn't signed to like a contract elsewhere, Triple H is bringing back now. He brought back Hit Row.
Yep. And he looked, and Cross looks cool again. He looks the way he should be looking.
Well, I mean, we were on your channel, and
there we go.
we
Now we got so maybe it wasn't the urban slang definition.
I think you misspelled that, Vicky.
Yeah, I don't know, but hey,
because now that's a different spelling.
Yeah, I would take it either way. But
I don't know. I'm reading differently.
Mhm.
Doesn't sound like it means what you say it's meaning, Vicky. So if that's what you genuinely think, I apologize. If not, I have my suspicions about this. But I have no doubt people are happier working for Triple H as the creative lead. It's not. I don't need to be a Dave Meltzer or a Sean Ross Sapp to figure that out, and that people are running back to TV or to WWE if they don't have a contract somewhere else to work for Triple H.
My thing, I think it builds better competition too.
I think this is just my pure speculation. I think Tony Khan's getting nervous now.
Yeah.
Because he had it good when Vince was in full power. Tony Khan had it good, and all he had to do was watch Vince screw up week after week, and he was still making money hand over fist, but no one wanted to deal with Vince McMahon anymore. Vince was chasing all the talent away, or he was firing them. No one wanted to work there, and now the one thing keeping people out of WWE or not wanting to work for him has gone. So it is a different ball game now. They've got a new it's a new era, man. It's a new time for them, and that could be trouble for Tony Khan.
Yeah, exactly. But to get back into Marvel related topic, we got a comment for it. That spot at SummerSlam with Brock lifting the ring with the tractor was ridiculous. I agree with you.
But it was something new and different. At least it was.
It would have been different if he if he left that point of the ring and put it on Roman's chest, or vice versa, to win the match. That would have been.
Well, you can't have Lesnar win though, because then you're.
Well,
Lesnar comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah, exactly. But
seems like people like the tractor though.
Yeah. Well, it was in Nashville. What can you say? But that's why people in Nashville, they're really cool. They got some great music over there.
Yeah. Good barbecue.
Yeah. But so we got a trailer for Pinocchio.
I don't endorse Mike's views on Nashville or agree with them.
Hey, I like
people of Nashville.
So there you go.
Okay.
I like the music.
Pinocchio. That's so this is a Disney Plus exclusive, right? The one with Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Yep.
It's
a friggin' cartoon with CGI. Beat by beat.
So was the Lion King had nothing live action about it.
Mm-hmm. And then Beauty and the Beast, same thing.
I have a question for you, Mike. Have any of these live action remakes of the Disney animated classics, have any of them been good?
To me, no. I'd rather watch the original cartoon.
The quality, like Dumbo, was terrible. Dumbo was just terrible.
Yeah.
And
there's always a scene in Dumbo that makes me cry, but in the remake live action, didn't get the same emotion.
Like Michael Keaton doing kind of like this riff on Walt Disney was mildly amusing, but like the whole movie was just boring, dull, and awful. And Dumbo was barely even in it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really even about Dumbo. It was about all the circus people and Colin Farrell, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good movie. And then the Alice in Wonderland films were bad.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast was mediocre. Aladdin was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
The Lion King was just pointless. I just don't get why the songs were in it, but they just weren't magical. There was no life there. Everything just looked dead and expressionless.
Yeah.
It just had none of the, that kind of musical life of the original. I prefer the animated originals.
Yes.
So does this Pinocchio movie look good? Is this going to be worth seeing?
I'm going to watch it just to check it out to see how it is. When I get time, because I'm not going to have any time when it's released that day because of Halloween. That's the beginning here in LA for Halloween. Halloween Horror Nights starts that day. So
and that's a big time for you.
Yes, it starts a big month of coverage. So especially with that weekend, because we're at me and Jeffrey are covering D23 and we're going to be there. So it's going to be tough to see when I'm going to be able to see it.
Here's what I don't get. Why release this film on Disney Plus? I think
because they needed something that was.
I think Dumbo bombed, but most of the animated films have been financial successes, haven't they?
Yeah, they have been.
I do not like how Jiminy Cricket looks here.
Oh yeah, I've seen the pictures. I saw the trailer.
See, I don't understand why you would remake this in live action.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pinocchio's totally CG.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have all these CG critters, and I don't know, something
just don't. I may be wrong, and this may be the first one for me that actually does something.
I don't like how this looks. I just don't like how this looks.
Yeah. I would pull up the Family Guy skit.
So they have a live action fox who wears clothes and talks in a live action setting. I don't understand. I don't understand this.
I don't get the whole remaking of.
Did Robert Zemeckis direct this?
I don't know. I don't know if he did or not, or is it a different one because I know there's 2 different Pinocchio movies coming out.
Zemeckis did direct this. I wonder what the budget on this was. It has Tom Hanks.
Yes. Has Robert Downey Jr., Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, Luke Evans, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael Key. He's in it.
$35 million budget.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lorraine Bracco.
I just wonder if what am I thinking? Did they not have faith to release this in theaters? And maybe, did Dumbo scare them off?
I don't know. Or they feel it's going to cater to more of a family audience that may be scared to take the kids. Oh yeah, there you go.
Dumbo Dumbo was $170 million movie.
Yeah.
It did not look like a $170 million movie.
The other Pinocchio is Guillermo del Toro.
Okay, now that I would want to see because that I think will be good.
Yeah. We're gonna see the battle of the Pinocchios.
I doubt it's going to be much of a battle there.
Yeah. And then for Disney Plus Day, we're getting Thor: Love and Thunder. That's going to be out on Disney Plus Day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else is coming. There's a lot of stuff coming out on Disney Plus.
I just don't see why you need to release a movie on streaming 6 weeks later, especially if it's doing well.
Yeah.
Just like make it
like they say, it's different audiences. Like it's the same way like in our business. We have to be able to put.
When did Thor come out?
That's why, like I say, like I was telling you, like what we do, we have to put content on different platforms,
right?
Because it reaches different audiences,
right?
And we can't just stick to like, oh, we only have traditional television. Oh, but we got to put stuff on YouTube. We got to do social media with Instagram and everything else. It's like, because each one is a different audience, and I think with Disney Plus, it attracts a different audience that may not be able to go to the theater.
Okay, but like, I'm not saying, but the streaming service isn't going anywhere, Mike. It's always going to be there. You don't have to do it in 6. You don't have to cannibalize your products. You can still put it on the streaming thing. It just takes a little longer. Like what's the big deal?
And I think it should be judged depending on how the
I'm
movie.
talking about staggered, launches. I'm not talking about don't ever put it on the streaming thing. Just let it have a run.
Because I think if you're doing well and you're 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in after the movie releases and it's still doing well, you keep it in theaters.
Well, I mean, look at a movie like did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is like this runaway hit this year?
I didn't see it.
Like this low budget, indie movie with Michelle Yeoh, and doing great reviews, and it did very well in theaters on a low budget, becoming very profitable, and it kind of had this just grassroots marketing campaign, and it gained an impressive following, and it did well.
Yeah.
I want movies to have time to do that. Let them have a life in theaters, and then they can have a life in streaming. I'm not saying you can't have both, but let the theatrical run happen. Let's see it have a run in theaters, and then we can do the streaming stuff.
That's why I say let's see how things go with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Avatar. If Avatar has a run like it did,
those are big franchises, Yeah. But like Everything Everywhere All at Once is just like a little indie, like an indie, not like an art house movie, but it's like this genre picture, a low budget genre picture that just found a following and did very well for itself. I want there to be an environment where things like that can happen, not just for big franchises, because Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Avatar don't need as much help, but I want the environment to be conducive for films like Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. And I think that's why you use the big tentpole films to see what they're going to do. You use the independents to be able, because they're two different type of formats, two different types of films, two different types of distribution. And I think if you play it right with some of these smaller films, you get a movie like that where it gets that chance and gets that opportunity to really shine.
I just don't think this Pinocchio, I don't know. I don't know why it exists. Mm-hmm. I don't think we needed it, but whatever. It's not my decision. It's not my money. It's not my decision, Mike.
Exactly. And they're not making.
And look, that movie Prey, after The Predator in 2018, I thought the Predator franchise was dead. And then Dan Trachtenberg makes Prey, and it's very good. So
Prey was really good.
But Prey did not get a theatrical release.
Mm-mm. And I think
it didn't get a theatrical release because of The Predator, and because of the Disney Fox merger and a bunch of other things.
Mm-hmm.
But had they released that movie in theaters, would it have done so bad? Would it have been so terrible? Why not? We don't really have that many movies getting in theaters right now.
No.
I think this month, Prey could have done well this month, I think. Could have done very well for itself.
Yeah.
I just don't. I know theatrical releases cost money, but I would have liked to have seen that movie come out in theaters instead of going straight to streaming.
Yep. Well, it's 11:48. Let's check the Disney Plus and see where we're at.
Yeah, we're probably a couple minutes away from the She-Hulk launch. Marvin's not here, but Marvin probably already has the episode.
Oh, it probably does. You know how it works. Marvin's the lucky one.
Oh, I know what I'm going to watch next after She-Hulk once we're done.
The Muppet movie?
No, the Orca versus Great White.
Oh, okay.
Now, I got to tell you, I'm enjoying all the Shark National Geographic stuff on Disney Plus.
Well, I just got pulled up when I pulled up my Disney Plus. It says the Muppet movie original.
No, that's a good idea too.
Yeah. Is it in 10 minutes or 1 minute? Usually it drops at 11:50.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Andy Coles. Yeah, so generally it comes out 10 minutes to midnight. So you can get a head start.
Yep. So we're
So
waiting.
we're probably just seconds away from episode 2 of She-Hulk on Disney Plus. So
I hope
we're nearing launch.
Yep. So have all your questions ready. Have your comments, put into the comments. We are really curious to see.
Here we go. So it's probably up by now. So thank you. So everyone who's joined us in the chat, just stay patient, and we'll be back in about half an hour for the Superhuman Law episode 2 of She-Hulk. We will see you in a little bit.
Cool.
Of the She-Hulk episode 2. Ow! Something fell on my foot. Watch party. So just we're just waiting on Mike here, and then we can get started.
Do we leave that in the cut?
The ouch?
Yes.
Something fell on my foot. I stubbed my toe. That hurt.
So at least I'm not the only one in pain.
Well,
I'm not.
Why are you in pain, Mike?
Well, I still remember I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago.
I'm what?
Still recovering. Yeah, old man shit.
Oh, was that like I was, Oh, so no, so I can't put you in the ankle lock.
Nope, exactly. So
I can't put you in a heel hook and make you tap out.
Nope, I'll tap out really quick.
Like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
It would be so fast it wouldn't even be a.
I mean, look, this is a sitcom. It's a half, and this is more like what we'll come to expect from the show. These are short episodes, not even a half hour, really. This is a legal sitcom with a bit of a superhero sort of angle to it. So it's not really a superhero show. Well, we got the return of Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky, Abomination. So She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters will be representing him. We met her parents this week. Her parents seem like good folks,
Yeah.
Her father gave her that good pep talk.
Yeah.
And that was
They're perfect strangers.
Mark Lynn Baker. Mark Lynn Baker from Perfect Strangers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good for him. He's
still working, so that's good.
He's Mel Walters on She-Hulk. Good for him.
Exactly. We got our first comment. So main thoughts from Sladro. I still like how it's straight to the point, like going straight to the Abomination case. It's crazy how he got caught for the Shang-Chi match. I don't know.
All over YouTube, I guess.
I don't know if Abomination is just acting good.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, we already caught him in a lie. It wasn't just the government that injected him with the serum. He got what was his name? Samuel Stearns, the leader, or the leader from the comics.
Yeah.
Tim Blake Nelson injected him with after he was injected with the serum, he was injected with that gamma blood sample, I think from Bruce Banner, which combining that turned him into Abomination. So we don't know the whole story. I don't think he's telling the truth, but
yep, definitely not used to.
I don't know. I feel like he's selling a whole pack of goods there. I don't know what I'm confused about, because we already saw Shang-Chi and he was doing the fight with Wong and Shang-Chi. And it looked like they were faking it, It looked like they were like fixing their fight so they could put on a fight, make some money kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely not used to these eps being 30 minutes, but it's not bad. I feel like we didn't really get much of a fight between Titania and She-Hulk,
Yeah, we definitely did.
It was just kind of at the tail end of the last episode, and then we didn't really get much this week. I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with that.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It's kind of a quick.
So this was about, all right. Jen gets fired. Her boss gets fired because of the fight in the courtroom. And they got the plaintiffs declared it, or excuse me, The other side declared it a mistrial because she saved the jury's lives. So she gets fired from the DA's office, and now she's working as a lawyer for this law firm who wants to focus on superhuman law cases. So now that is sort of the premise in our setup. So kind of had the rest of the premise set up. So this is more along the lines of what we'll be getting from this series. It's not really like a superhero show. It's like it's a legal sitcom like Ally McBeal, but it has like a minor hero angle to it.
There just happens to be a superhero in it.
She doesn't even really consider herself a superhero yet. So maybe, I assume over the course of the season, we'll see Jen hopefully go on that journey to becoming a superhero, but she's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's Scar's mother.
The first one first. I knew Bruce was getting picked up. I just wonder who is picking him up. I wonder if it's Scar's mom, but I doubt it.
They already did the World War Hulk story. It was in Thor Ragnarok, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, they are talking about a planet Hulk.
But we do know that was from the first episode. That was apparently a courier ship from Segarra.
Yep.
It was something Banner Hulk needed to look into, and apparently he's leaving the planet now. So that was, I guess, our last appearance of Banner Hulk for a while.
Yeah.
But we got Abomination, and now they're doing an Abomination Emil Blonsky subplot.
Do you think we're gonna see the leader in the show?
I think that would be a good connection because we did revisit Blonsky, and I think if they could get Tim Blake Nelson and he finally transforms into the leader, I think that would be a good transition. And I think if they do full on leader, I think that would be a great addition to the show and the MCU, just because I think we're short on good villains, you know? And I think if they play their cards right with Tim Blake Nelson, this could be really cool.
Yep. That man just got on and left. Ha ha ha.
Who's he referring to?
The Hulk.
Oh.
Bruce Banner.
You're referring to Banner Hulk.
Yeah.
I wonder where he's going. I wonder if he's going to see Nick Fury or something.
Who knows? Or Segarra. Maybe he knows he has a kid.
Going to visit the Grand Master or something?
Maybe. Or a kid.
Maybe he's getting his kid, Scar, son of Hulk.
Possibly. Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
I mean, it leaves a lot of things that are to come up in the future, but I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't think that's what's happening, but I guess we'll find out. But
we'll find out.
That was probably our last appearance of Bruce for a while. So we got him in the first episode. We got him in this episode. It was a middling episode. This was more about getting Jen her job. She has her new lawyer job at this other law firm. She's going to be representing superhuman law cases, and this is sort of like the new status quo of the series. So meeting her new office mates. She's got what was her best friend's name? Ginger Gonzaga is the actress.
Yeah, and I forget what her name is.
Is that character in the comics?
I don't know.
Nikki Ramos. Is Nikki Ramos a character in the comics? That's what I want to know.
Let me take a look right now.
When all else fails, check Google. It looks like Nikki is an MCU original character. Unless like they took like a similar character from the comics and based her on that.
I think they based her off of a similar character.
Let's see.
Because if you look at a photo, send the link to myself in a private chat.
Okay, so there are characters like her in the comics, but Nikki Ramos is not a character in the comics, basically. So I don't think
picture.
Yeah. So this is an original. This is yeah. That's not. I saw that. I was looking at that story on Comic
I
Book
think they took
Researchers.
it.
That's
Yeah.
a different character. That's a different. She looks similar, but that character's name is Jill Stevens. So, and who is her childhood friend? So this is a different character. So it's a character I may be inspired by Jill Stevens, but is a new character, original character for this series. All right, so Slado, first ep definitely better, but not by much. There wasn't much comedy in this epi. Yeah,
it gets you through. What do you think of Abomination making 7 friends?
There was a lot of comedy in this episode, but I just didn't find it maybe all that funny.
Yeah, it felt kind of short for me in this episode. As for the 7 friends, just wait till the next episode.
We're gonna see more of them.
Yeah.
Something seems off and suspicious about everything. It just from what Emil Blonsky's saying, it just sounds like he's selling a pack of goods. He's just he's lying through his teeth, and I don't trust a thing he says.
Yeah.
And I think Jen should not trust a thing she says. But look, she's a lawyer. This is the case her law firm wants her to take. She needs a job, so this is what she's doing. Are they the guys from the trailer? What guys?
The 7 friends.
Oh, the wrecking crew we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
We did see the wrecking crew in the trailer. You'll find out.
Yeah. I don't think
he's got 7 pen pals. They're buying property and they're gonna move on a piece of property or something like that.
That sounds right for a prison.
I don't know. Can you do that through a prison pen pal program?
Be surprised how many things people have conjugal visits with people that they have.
I don't know.
For programs. So
he's in like this. He's in a maximum state. Excuse me, a maximum security like superhuman prison. I guess even.
Hey, they all need loving too. Prisoners need that loving.
I guess. I guess prisoners are able to. What they get women to write to them through these programs, and then they seduce them into giving them money or something, right?
Hey, look at that one guy who was supposedly hot to a lot of women that he got a bunch of calls and he got out of prison.
Why do women want to write to guys in prison? Like, that's just weird.
No, I really don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
How did he find all these pen pals through the prison program? That, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's Abomination, because he can turn into Abomination. They're attracted to that, or I don't know. Strange. It's very strange. But I don't think you can trust Blonsky, and I think Jennifer should not trust him, and she should be leery of anything he has to say.
Yeah. Sladro, I really want to see Hulk versus Abomination fight again, but I guess we won't. Some people
I would like it if we saw She-Hulk and Abomination fight at the end of this.
Yeah. Some people just don't like dangerous people. There you go.
Do you like dangerous people, Mike?
No. Because I grew up in the hood. And I'm okay without having to not being around that.
Well, I mean, respect for your view. Exactly. I really wanted to see a Hulk versus Abomination fight again, but I guess we won't. I don't. Yeah, I think we saw. I think our fight in the first episode between Hulk and She-Hulk is our one fight.
I agree. I agree.
Man, her who is that jerk who was like who she works with in her old office? That guy was a real jerk.
Well, yeah.
He was like complaining about her having superpowers.
He's into
and then he's like, oh, there's a hot chick over there. I'm gonna go talk to it. Like, God, that guy is odious. What an odious, lugubrious, just what a jerk. What a scumbag, man.
If we had women on the panel today, we would be able to ask him if How many times have they got hit on by a guy like that?
Just looking at that guy the way he talks to Jen just makes me gives me the creepy crawlies.
He was really interested on how she got her powers.
He probably wanted to get powers of his own. Well, he thinks he could get the easy street with powers like that.
Well,
and then he was like complaining, "Oh, it's what did he say? Something about nepotism or some nonsense."
Yep.
What is that? Well, I did like seeing Mark Lynn-Baker as her dad, and her folks.
Yeah.
Her folks seem like decent people, if a bit, naive and misguided.
Right.
But they seem like decent people, except for Ched, who's like an idiot.
Yeah.
I want to see Red Hulk so bad. Well,
I think you'll see Red Hulk eventually, not in this series. But I think
isn't there a big problem there with that, Mike?
There is, but there is such a thing as recasting.
Who would they recast as that character?
Who knows? You could find somebody.
All right, is Red Hulk? Let's be honest. Is Red Hulk even a good character?
In the cartoons, he wasn't a good character to me. I didn't think. But they're doing a Thunderbolts movie, so
yeah. But you don't need Red Hulk for the Thunderbolts. Do we need? Okay. Do we need Red She-Hulk? Do we need? I mean, look, I love Liv Tyler, and I wouldn't mind seeing her play Betty Ross again. But do you want to see Liv Tyler come back as Betty Ross, Red She-Hulk?
I don't know. I don't think she would.
Okay, but the Thunderbolts, the Thunderbolts have also have Deadpool, the Punisher, and Electro Slater. That doesn't mean they're going to be in the movie. Yeah. You think Deadpool's going to be in the Thunderbolts movie? Deadpool's going to join the team. He's been in the team.
Supposedly, Deadpool's in Secret Wars. That's what the rumor is right now.
Yeah. Rumor from where?
It was on Variety or something. One of the trades.
Was it a real was it a legitimate website or one of these
It was from
Twitter accounts by my Patreon.
It was from the trades that reported it. I mean, Thunderbolts is happening. So
Thunderbolts is happening, but we don't know what Thunderbolts lineup they're using.
Punisher is coming back too.
That's the rumor. It hasn't been confirmed.
No confirmed, but maybe we'll hear about that.
We know that Echo is happening. We know Daredevil Born Again is happening.
Wonder Man.
Has Wonder Man been confirmed though? I don't think it has.
Not yet, but I bet you we're going to hear something at D23.
Well, we haven't had confirmation on that.
Yeah.
Deadpool. Well, I think they're working on Deadpool 3, Slater, but my point is Thunderbolts has had a lot of weird lineups over the years. My favorite Thunderbolts lineup was the original, which I doubt they're going to do. They're probably going to use characters like U.S. Agent, maybe Yelena. Who else could they use though? They could use Blonsky if you think about it.
Yeah.
They could use Abomination. They could use. I would use Zemo because he's still alive, and I would have Zemo become Citizen V. Is what I would do.
I think that would be.
He's going to play the other side, and he's going to use it to his advantage. But definitely Deadpool. You're right. So your thoughts on tonight's episode, Mike?
I thought it was okay. It gets the ball rolling.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's
plot development.
Yeah,
moving the plot forward.
That's all it is. It's
not much. The biggest thing that happened is She-Hulk gets her new job at her new law firm, taking superhero law cases, and now she's representing Abomination.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about in this episode, and
well, we did get to see Abomination again, and they connected and they tied it back into when we saw him fighting Wong and Shang-Chi. So that was kind of where we left things off. So hopefully next week we will get a proper explanation on why that was happening. But my impression watching Shang-Chi is that Wong and Abomination were fixing that fight, and they were just doing it for money or something. That was the way it came off to me.
Exactly. Like it wasn't much to where I have like a bunch of questions. It was enough to know.
Yeah, it was simple.
Exactly.
It was a simple, straightforward episode. There's not much of a mystery.
Yeah. So what would you give this episode, Jeffrey?
You see, these episodes, rating a single episode like this where like so little happens and it's just, this is more just sort of to bring things along, continue the plot, and there aren't really too many major events other than the Abomination appearance. She-Hulk's representing Abomination now. She's got her first client, kind of thing. Oh, we got a spam baby in here.
Yep, exactly.
I'll give this one, but I didn't hate it, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Sladro gave it a 6-7 out of 10 for me.
I think that's fair. I
go with a 6.5.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. It was just kind of, it wasn't like a great episode. I still think the last week's episode is the best of the whole bunch I've seen. Yeah. So I'm more curious about, you know, how Daredevil gets worked into this, because we know Daredevil's going to show up.
Yep.
So that we know that's in store. How that's going to get worked in. So that's what I'm more curious about, and where they pick up from where I left off is where I'm more keenly interested in.
Yeah, I agree. But to end the
take a time out, Barty Bart. Take a powder.
But to end the night, I don't know if you heard this. So we'll go off of what we're talking about here. But
excuse me. Yeah.
Mark Shackman, who directed WandaVision, is rumored to helm Fantastic Four.
He's supposed to be doing Star Trek 4, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be doing Star Trek.
Okay.
But there's nothing has been really said about it.
They announced, well, they
announced, they haven't.
They announced that the cast is returning, and then they hadn't signed any of the cast members to deals.
Yeah.
Chris Pine told Deadline at Comic-Con that he hadn't heard anything about it. I don't have any news. If it happens, I think all of us would like to come back. So, I mean, he's leaving it out there. Let's see. So he's not confirmed yet for Fantastic Four.
No.
So when does Fantastic Four?
That will be coming out in 2024. In 2 years.
2024. So I think that's going to be before.
It's before.
When is Kang Dynasty?
I believe it's 2025.
So let's see. Okay, so Kang Dynasty and Secret War are 2025. MCU Fantastic Four, or whatever they're going to have, is 2024. Yeah. So we think it's going to be Matt Shackman now.
Yeah.
Matt Shackman, I mean, that's not a bad choice. I think WandaVision was a good show. But most of his credits are TV credits. He hasn't done a movie yet, so we'll see. I mean, could be interesting.
Yeah, let's see how it develops, and let's see if that comes out to be true at D23.
I guess he would do Star Trek first, but could they get, like, if they wanted to get Star Trek out next year, which seems highly unlikely, by the way.
Yeah.
They would have to start filming it like really soon.
Yeah.
They? And they have not. I mean, they haven't even signed the cast to new deals yet.
Nope.
If we're to believe Chris Pine, like Chris Pine spoke to Deadline, they have not signed new deals.
Yeah.
He says they want to come back, but they haven't signed new deals for it. So does Paramount have the cash? I don't know. Maybe they have enough cash now because of Top Gun, but the last Star Trek movie didn't do all that well for them. So, and it's been stalling for years.
And the TV series are doing very well for them. So why would you even right now go into a film?
Jesus Christ. What has happened to the chat, man?
You got a lot of spammers, so I'm taking it little by little.
No, sorry for those of you enduring the oh great.
Yeah, we're getting a lot right now.
We're getting spam bots in here. Sorry about that.
Exactly.
All right, so I guess we'll find out soon, but that was episode 2 of She-Hulk.
Pedro, you think we'll see Blue Marvel in the Marvels?
That is I wouldn't be against it. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So there you go.
So that was episode 2 of She-Hulk. We will be back next week for episode 3. Next week is September, so we will usher in September 1st with episode 3. Very nice.
Exactly. So we'll see you next week here on the Watch Party and After Show. So
all right.
See you next week.
Well, first off for me, check out my reviews of Beast and Dragon Ball Superhero on 411mania.com. Those are my rotten, and they're up on Rotten Tomatoes as well. So I'm Jeffrey Harris, the J to the E to the double F -ree. And you can check me out on Twitter at Wheeljack83 if you want to give me a follow. Who's going to be the next Black Panther? Says Sidvid. We don't know yet, Sidvid. We're just going to have to wait and find out. There you go.
Yep. And for me, you'll be able to see our interview with Natalie Emmanuel for The Invitation, which comes out in theaters tomorrow afternoon, or late afternoon. It'll be out in a theater near you. Check out that interview right now on MUSE TV, and we will be seeing you next week here on the She-Hulk Watch Party and After Show. So see you next time.